we have the second fight in February for Canelo against one of the two options, Sheeraz or Eubank.
Wait, did he just say Hamzah Sheeraz and Chris Eubank Jr?
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. But if I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo, what's good, Boxing Talk family? Welcome back to your favorite boxing news channel, Dr. Boxing Talk. We are back for another YouTube video. Banger, man. Yes, sir. Yes, man. I don't know what time it is. The doctor's in the house, man. So check this out. But before we get to it, don't forget to hit that like button. Let's do it together. Kumbaya, baby, on the like button. There we go. Let's get right to it. Kings and queens, brothers and sisters. Let's go, man. We have had some news broken to us exclusively from Turki Alalshikh himself. Yes, the big man of the Riyadh season when it comes to the sports and entertainment as a whole when it comes to Riyadh, you know, Turki Alalshikh. And he has revealed Canelo's next move after Terence Crawford. And he's saying that it might be Hamzah Sheeraz or Chris Eubank Jr. And now, before you get upset, just know you're going to be upset on your own. It's a solo mission because I'm not upset. You know why I'm not upset? Despite what I showed you in that intro, I'm not upset. I'm not surprised. I'm not caught off guard. It's because if you pay attention to this channel and you are a true Boxing Talk family member and loyalist, you know that I called this last year. Check it out. Yeah. And then I doubled down again after that. And then I just said it most recently in May, because if you pay attention like I do, and I give this news to you, the accurate factual news, you know what I'm saying? Facts over feelings. I told you that Canelo has said that he wanted to fight in London. And if he's going to fight in London, I think it would behoove him to fight a guy from the UK. And who fits the bill? Hamzah Sheeraz and Chris Eubank Jr. You see what I'm saying? So especially when Chris Eubank Jr. was in talks before last year to have a fight with Canelo, hypothetically speaking, you know, I'm not even gonna say hypothetically speaking. I'm gonna say potentially speaking. He had a chance to fight Canelo, and Chris Eubank said that he didn't take the fight because he wants to give himself a fair chance to win, and he thought that the fight was just sprung upon him a little prematurely, you know, and it wasn't really fair to him as far as a preparation time, because I think he said that they wanted him to fight within a month and a half or 2 months into them contacting him, which I agree with him. You know, give yourself the best opportunity to win, but my brother, there's no opportunity for you to win. Canelo's gonna put you to sleep.
You got knocked the fuck out, man. Give me my goddamn money.
Just like that, you know, it is what it is. Everybody has a fighting chance. Chris Eubank is good, but we just saw Chris Eubank Jr. in a phenomenal, fantastic, superb fight against Conor Benn, and he got rocked multiple times. So if you got rocked by Conor Benn at 160, what do you think Cinnamon's going to do to you? I don't care if you hydrated or not. It's a wrap. So I'm not interested in that fight at all, but I'm not caught off guard because I knew that this was on the table. So especially in the scenario that Chris Eubank and Conor Benn don't have their rematch, which that's looking like it might be in jeopardy, right? Then I could wholeheartedly see that Cinnamon would fight Chris Eubank Jr. after fighting Terence Bud Crawford. And I know you might be like, hold on, Doc. What if Canelo loses to Terence Bud Crawford? Yeah, that is a possibility as well. I have Cinnamon winning by late stoppage, but Terence Crawford's a phenomenal fighter, so it could go either way. That's why this fight is special and it's intriguing, and that's why I'm excited for it. However, Terence Crawford has said himself that there's no rematch clause, meaning if Terence Bud Crawford upsets Cinnamon, they'll move on. If Cinnamon beats Terence Crawford, he moves on. So win or lose, I could still see him going on to fight Chris Eubank Jr. or Hamzah Sheeraz. Now, Hamzah Sheeraz, to me, I don't see him getting past Edgar Berlanga. So if Edgar Berlanga beats Hamzah Sheeraz, then Canelo, then Sheeraz is essentially off the table in my estimation. You know, I'm not sure. I'm just speculating right now, but I would think that if Hamzah Sheeraz loses to a guy that Canelo beat in Edgar Berlanga, then I would send him and fight him, you know. But but let's say Hamzah Sheeraz does win, then Canelo could be on the cards as well, especially if Chris Eubank Jr. is not available. However, I will say this, so I'm not interested in that fight with Hamzah Sheeraz at all, because this is Hamzah Sheeraz's debut at 168. And why does he just get Cinnamon? You see what I'm saying? Like, shouldn't he go and fight like a guy like Christian and Billy, Diego Pacheco, Osley Iglesias? Like, there's so many other, Lester Martinez, there's so many other guys that, you know, would be a more suitable opponent for him. But hey, if that's what Canelo wants, you know, that's part of the contract with Turki Alalshikh, and Hamzah Sheeraz is one of Turkey's ring ambassadors, let it happen. I'm not too mad at it, but as far as the intrigue from a competitive standpoint, both of these fights are trash.
Know your fucking place, trash.
I'm not gonna lie to you. You know I like Cinnamon, but come on, Turk. You got to do us better than this. Come on, Cinnamon. Gosh, dang, Hamzah Sheeraz or Chris Eubank? Come on now. That's just whack, man. I don't like that fight at all. But you know, it is what it is. You know what, this will satisfy the criteria of Canelo wanting to go to London, you know what I'm saying, have that fight there. So I'm sure that they already ironed this out, but I want to be very clear on this too. You know, something I want to give you all a little bonus tidbit. You know, there's a lot of talks about Gervonta Tank Davis potentially going with Riyadh, and that's cool because we see plenty of PBC fighters, just like matchroom fighters, just like top rank fighters, just like Golden Boy fighters, and top and everything else. We've seen them involved in Riyadh season. So Tank would not be the first PBC fighter on Riyadh season. However, a lot of people are excited and think that that means by default that is ultimately going to, you know, bring a unification between Tank and Shakur into fruition. I want you to be pay close attention to what I'm about to say. I hope that fight happens, but if Tank fights on Riyadh season, there's no guarantee, because Turkey doesn't always give us the fights that we exactly want to see, right? He gives us big fights and good fights, but I could see Tank fighting, let's say, Nai Inoue on a Riyadh season card just as much as I could see Tank fighting Shakur. Case in point, Canelo signed with Riyadh season, right? We didn't get Canelo and David Benavidez, but remember before Canelo was working with Turk, the sentiment around boxing and the general consensus, we all thought that, okay, if Canelo works with Turkey, then he's going to facilitate that Benavidez and Canelo fight. That has not happened. Another fight, case in point, right? We wanted to see Virgil Ortiz and Jerome Boots Ennis, or Virgil Ortiz and Terence Crawford. Remember Oscar De La Hoya called for that fight? Well, Virgil Ortiz has been on Riyadh season. We haven't seen that. Neither one of those two fights happened either. Now, I'm not saying that Virgil Ortiz wasn't in good fights with him and Israel Madrimov. That was a great fight. But what I'm saying is, don't think that because somebody's on Riyadh season, we're going to get exactly the fight that we want to see. You know what I'm saying? AJ and Deontay Wilder has still been evading us and eluding us. You know, we still haven't seen AJ versus Tyson Fury yet. Granted, because, you know, some of these things are circumstantial with Tyson Fury retiring, Deontay Wilder losing, but other ones, they can happen. It just doesn't happen, you know, because they get in negotiations. I'm sure that's part of the, you know, some things have to be met in order for some fighters to go and be involved in Riyadh season. You see what I'm saying? Even the Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia rematch still hasn't happened yet. So I'm just saying there's no guarantee. I would like to think that if Tank goes with on Riyadh season that he would fight Shakur, but there's no guarantee. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how it goes. And also, case in point, Canelo fighting a guy in Hamzah Sheeraz or Chris Eubank Jr. That's very disappointing, to say the least, you know? And no disrespect to Sheeraz or Chris Eubank Jr., but I'm just saying there's no realistic way that they could beat the face of boxing, Saul Canelo Alvarez, right? It's just not, you know, anything can happen in boxing. You know, I'm not disrespecting the pugilists, but let's be real, man. Nobody wants to see Canelo versus Chris Eubank. You know what I'm saying? I don't think, not even the Mexican fan base or the English fan base wants to see Canelo versus Chris Eubank or Canelo versus Hamzah Sheeraz. I'm just saying. But y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Are you disappointed in these potential matchups for Canelo after Terence Bud Crawford? And if there's somebody else that you prefer, let me know in the comments. I know everybody wants to see David Benavidez. That's probably not going to happen. Let me know somebody else, man. I'm thinking if Cinnamon does not fight Hamzah Sheeraz or Chris Eubank Jr., I prefer him to fight, let's say, Jamal Charlo. You know, I prefer that fight. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know what y'all think about that in the comments. Don't forget to smack that like button. But most importantly, remember, with God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace.
From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.